Are you a bad sleeper, Laura?
Oh, terrible. Joanne knows all about this. I've spoken to her at length.
Right. Johann Callaghan joins us from Athy. Author, sleep expert, public speaker. Joanne, thank you for joining us. And thank you for coming in. Weather conditions brutal out there
still. Oh my God, I'm still freezing after coming in from there.
Yeah, your hands were cold actually.
Yeah.
We'll warm you up in a minute. Is it still raining?
It's calmed down, thank God. Yeah,
calmed down a little, yeah, but there's more coming.
Yeah, oh God.
More coming tonight and tomorrow as well. Insomnia, my attention was drawn to it because there was an article in one of the weekend papers, Fine Gael TD for Dublin, Fingal, Alan Farrell, speaking and writing about his insomnia and how it can play havoc with your life. Latest figures, we're told, show insomnia affects 15% of the Irish population, and according to experts, it's on the rise. The average person falls asleep within 7 minutes and stays asleep for 8 hours. But an international study last year found that 35% of Irish adults say they do not believe they're getting the right amount of sleep. Now, there can be various reasons for that. And the same survey ranked Ireland as the second most sleep-deprived country after the United Kingdom.
Yeah, they're very big figures and they're very real figures as well, and we need to start waking up to the fact that people are not sleeping properly. I mean, in the 19th...
You said waking up to the fact that people...
Yeah.
Pun intended or pun intended.
Pun intended.
What is insomnia?
Insomnia, well, chronic insomnia is basically when it's an inability to sleep. So if they're not able to actually get a sleep at night time, or if they're waking up during the night time or waking up too early. Now, chronic insomnia is when people... This is happening at least 3 times a week and over a 3-month period. So that's insomnia. Sleep deprivation is the effects of not being able to sleep properly, but it's not quite as severe as insomnia.
Okay, you're obviously very popular, and this topic is obviously fairly widespread out there because we've had 3 quick callers in the last couple of minutes to ask, what time is Joanne on?
Fantastic.
So I'm sure there's a lot more out there. The whole question of insomnia, right, let's talk about the general area of sleep first of all. How quickly do you fall asleep? We're told we should fall asleep in 7 minutes. Personally, I have no problem doing that because I get up at 6 o'clock every morning and I try to hit the bed by 11:15 at night. So I'm well out of it by then. I have to say, tired after a day's work. But I'm not good at sleeping the night through. Okay. I tend to wake up on, off. And I'm sure that's a condition that afflicts many people. There's
a couple of reasons why that's happening. Now, for starters, we do actually wake up in the middle of the night in between our sleep cycles, but we're not actually aware of this. Some people may wake up, go to the bathroom, but they may easily be able to fall back asleep again. So that's absolutely fine. There's no need to worry about that. Now, in the cases where you can't go back asleep again, or if you're waking up, it could be a blood sugar issue. So depends on how we're supposed to have stable blood sugar levels throughout the night, and if we're eating very high carb foods or high glucose foods, and if that dips and then it's going to spike again, because we do need a certain level, because we do need energy while we're sleeping. The brain is very active during the night time when we're sleeping. So
don't eat before going to bed, which I don't. I never eat after 7 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah.
But I'm a basket case. Don't mind me. Let's speak generally about. Continue. Yes.
Yeah. So basically, it's those high glycemic foods, those refined foods, carbs, cakes, biscuits, those type of things are a big no-no, before you go to bed. And really, your dinner should be at least 3 hours before you're actually going to bed. So no big heavy meals, because you don't want to be digesting food when you're going to sleep, because that part of the system shuts down when we're sleeping. So.
All right, we'll talk about some more steps as how we can address it in a couple of minutes' time. Insomnia, where people will say, I can't sleep, I can't get to sleep. But I wonder, do people realise how devastating the condition of insomnia is?
Yeah.
And am I correct that insomnia is just not being able to sleep at all, awake most of the night?
Yeah, so it could be various factors. One of the biggest ones is really how we're thinking about sleep and our lifestyle. Our lifestyle is huge, and stress is really becoming evident now, how we're responding to stress. Our stress resilience levels are very bad at the moment, and I heard a report there earlier on the news that you were saying the stress levels in the workplace has increased double in a 5-year period. So stress is a very big issue at the moment, and I think, in my opinion, an awful lot of the time is the mobile phone usage and this compulsive checking of the phones, and there's lots of issues around our phones that's preventing us, that's creating stress in our lives, but also preventing us from getting asleep at night time. But stress and lifestyle is a huge factor.
Okay, I'm going to take the thing about the phone. I'm on call 24 hours a day, because obviously if the transmitters go down and my phone does sit beside, and when I wake up, I tend to reach out to have a check of it. So let's look at some of the ways people, because I'm sure there are thousands of people listening out there, and all have sleep issues ranging from, I find it difficult to get to sleep. So let's start with that. If I find it difficult to get to sleep, what should people do?
So, and I done a survey there recently, and over 50% of people said one of the biggest reasons that's stopping them from getting asleep at night is their head is full of thoughts, anxiety. So anxiety is a massive thing that's going on at the moment. Again, this is related to stress. So what I say to people is, when our head hits the pillow, we're trying to fight and we're struggling to get asleep. Now, sleep is a natural process, so we shouldn't be struggling. And when we're struggling, we're resisting what's going on. And the more you resist, the more it's going to persist. So an awful lot of things that you can do. One of the biggest things that you can do when it comes to anxiety and tossing your head is to use a journal and write down your to-do list, whatever it is that's worrying you. We bring an awful lot of our emotions to bed with us at night time, and during our sleep, this is one of the processes when we're dreaming, that it's processed during our REM sleep at night time. So, if we're going to bed with emotion stuff, we really need to clear up stuff as much as we can during the day before we go to sleep.
So is it about preparing for bed?
Absolutely.
Rather than just getting up from television and say, I'll go to bed now? It's about getting your head in a good place, get the vacuum cleaner out, clear between the ears, calm down.
Winding down is a very important process, because sleep is not like an on-off switch. We gradually, there's lots of bodily processes. Our blood pressure has to reduce, our heart rate has to reduce. Our heart rate has to be 60 beats per minute in order to fall into that slumber. Our blood pressure, all that our body temperature has to reduce. So that all takes, time.
So preparing the bedroom, having the heat, maybe the electric blanket or whatever else.
No electric blanket.
No electric blanket?
No electric blanket, no.
No. Joanne.
Turn it off when you get into bed. So
but when I wake up at 3 in the morning, it's just so comforting to have the electric switch beside you and you go click.
There's new research coming out now about EMF, the electromagnetic frequencies, and electrical devices, so you can check that one out as well. So we need another interview for that.
Tell me more. That it's interfering with the biorhythms of our body.
All the electrical, our bodies are electrical fields. We are made of energy, or we are electrical beings.
Joanne, I love my electric blanket.
When I wake
up in the middle
you have to get a hot water bottle.
Or someone to cuddle me.
Yes. Great.
Or whatever else. The idea of people dozing off during the day, taking naps, is that a big enemy of getting good sleep?
It can be. Now, if you're not a great sleeper at night time, I would not encourage naps. What I would encourage is getting up at the same time every morning, because the body likes routine, and it's all about getting to a habit. It's all habitual stuff, and especially when it comes to sleep. We do work from our circadian rhythm, which is a 24-hour biological process. So we primarily respond to daytime and nighttime, light and darkness. So we need to get up at the same time every morning, and that's more important than going to bed at the same time every night. That is important as well. But you are resetting your biological clock when you wake up at the same time every morning. So that's really super important.
And now, obviously, don't drink cups of coffee before you go to bed. Joanne has already mentioned eliminating the smart devices. I saw in a little guide about, how to get better sleep, make the bedroom a sleep-only zone.
Absolutely.
Joanne, does that mean no gymnastics allowed?
Well, actually, the bedroom is the 3 S's, sex, sleep and sickness. So that's what the bedroom is for.
Sex, sleep and sickness.
Yes.
Okay. And what about making it a sleep-only zone?
well, that comes after whatever else. It's too early, Clem, for that.
There's two sides of that argument. That if one gets frisky, your whole energy levels are up and you can't sleep. On the other hand, you could be so content that we leave that there.
Park that one.
Definitely. Is routine everything?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, because we are habitual creatures, and if we're out of routine, out of our circadian rhythm, then that's causing more of a stress in the body.
What's our circadian rhythm?
This is the biological process. The body works in rhythms, so we have like our daytime hormones and our nighttime hormones, and they're released at particular times during the daytime. So our cortisol is highest in the morning. This is the stress hormone, and cortisol is not totally a baddie. We do need cortisol to get us up and get us out of the bed, keeps us focused. It's when there's too much cortisol that has adverse effects in the body. And then at night time, our cortisol levels reduce dramatically, and the melatonin comes in. Melatonin's our sleep hormone, And it's the melatonin that we need to promote sleep, but also keep us asleep during the night time. So a lot of people, you were saying, waking up during the night, older people in particular have reduced levels of melatonin. This is a natural process as we age. And this is probably one of the reasons why older people have more fragmented sleep during the night time.
Is it really? Now, I know that it's said we need less sleep as we grow older, but the problem is when we go to sleep, we want to stay asleep. Yeah. So essentially, is it about setting the scene?
Absolutely.
Before you go to bed?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you need to have a cool room because our body temperature cools down. So we need to have a cool room to set the scene.
And not a mountain of clothes on top of you.
Absolutely.
I have to say I have about 9 blankets on top of me. I think it's nearly weightlifting at this stage, but I just like it cozy.
Once you're comfortable in bed and your bed...
And what about sleep when you're sleepy?
When you're sleepy during the daytime?
No. But going to bed at night, sometimes if you don't feel sleepy.
Listen to your body. So if you are sleepy, go to bed. If you're not sleepy, if you get into this rhythm, you will naturally start to get sleepy around the time that you normally go to bed. So go to bed, do your bedtime routine, do your 1 hour wind down, and that is your cue for your body for this sleep to come on. So that's effectively...
Obviously, you wouldn't be a fan of sleeping tablets, but but medication, does it have a place in dealing with insomnia?
It does in some places, but on a short-term use. But I'm reading an awful lot of research that it works very well with CBT.
What's that?
CBT is
the cognitive behavioural therapy.
So it's all about your thinking, how you think about sleep and your relationship with sleep. That's really, really important because the mind is so powerful how we think. And, there's some people that say things like, I don't have time for sleep, or I need to do this before I go to sleep. So we're not prioritising sleep. And we need to start prioritising sleep. And we need to value sleep and respect sleep because we can't live without sleep.
So give us then a general roundup of, first of all, before I ask you for a general roundup as to how people might approach sleep in the at night time, insomnia, what help is available for it?
Well, CBTI is and actually interesting. There was a talk in Gorey Library tonight. I think it was Deirdre McSweeney. She's in the Mater Private. So she is a CBT person to go to. So that's a very, very good thing to do. And sorry, what was it? What were you?
I'll come back to just in a minute. So if somebody is suffering from insomnia, that really devastates their life.
Routine.
You cannot function without sleep.
No, you can't.
So you would urge them to go and get specialised help?
Yeah, it is a medical condition. So you do need to see a doctor if you do suspect insomnia. If you're not sleeping at least 3 nights a week over a 3-month period, over a long period, you definitely need to see a professional and have a chat with them. They may refer you for CBT, I don't know, but it is one of the things that I see involved with CBT.
And what about getting up when you wake up? You're told, I've seen some quarters where it says, if you wake up, get up, read a book, do something, and then go back to bed.
If you're lying awake in bed, there's no point in staying there because you're associating awakeness with your bed. So you need to get out of the bed. If you can't go back to sleep, read or do something like that until you start feeling sleepy and get back into bed then to go to sleep.
So is getting a good night's sleep all about relax before you go? You tell me.
Absolutely. So you definitely need a wind down routine to gradually reduce all the bodily processes, your blood pressure, your heart rate, your body temperature, all that has to slow down. So that takes at least an hour or so. Definitely do not use mobile devices or electronic devices. That blue light from the screen blocks your melatonin. That is a absolute big no-no. And I've heard people waking up during the night time and getting on their phones and tablets during the night because they can't sleep. Do not go near your mobile phones. In fact, switch it on to flight mode because it's stopping all them Wi-Fi signals. So routine is very, very important. Getting sunshine during the daytime is really important because it's getting all those hormones regulated during the daytime, setting you up and reducing stress as well as making you more resilient. So it's really setting you up for sleep at night.
Clear the mind, no caffeine, no food, and relax. Prepare for bed, I suppose, is the overall.
Yeah, and routine.
Okay, no friskiness because it might keep you awake, and the electric blanket, oh God, here I have to go and take it off the bed now. Johann Callaghan is an author, sleep expert and public speaker in this area. You're based in the Thai, Johann?
Yeah.
And people can get in touch with you, can they?
Yeah, JohannCallaghan.com, JoHann, JohannCallaghan.com, and my book, How to Get a Good Night's Sleep, is available online as well.
All right, well done, Johann Callaghan. Johanncallaghan.com if you want to find out more. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.